Hello everyone. So, oh, Happy New Year. It is now 2022. I am filming this on the 2nd. Time feels fake right now, but yes. And we're gonna do a little chit chat. Get ready with me to talk about everything that's happened since I last posted, because it's been a while. What else is new? So yeah, I have my makeup in front of me. I have my mirror here. You can probably see it just in the corner of the frame. And yeah, let's get started. So before I actually start putting makeup on, I do want to mention one thing because I'm probably going to get emotional. I'm already getting emotional. So as a lot of you may know, I had a dog named Pele, and she was really great, and I had her for almost 14 years. She was born in November of 2009, I think. Would it have been 2009? She was born in November, and she would have been 14 this year in November. So yeah, I've had her ever since she was a puppy, and yeah. But I mentioned this in my August video where I did my makeup. She had a heart murmur and it was getting worse, and they put her on medication, and for a while I thought it was really helping. And I think to some extent it might have been, but she was having these weird episodes where she would like run around the apartment and she wouldn't settle down, and she would just be panting, and I could tell looking in her face something was wrong. It's like she was really worried about something. But I always saw it happening after nighttime, so I thought it was like some kind of weird doggy sundowners because she was an older dog. And I thought, well, her checkup with the vet to see how the medication's doing is in December, so I'll talk to them then. But my mom was up here in October, and it happened several times over the course of the week, where it happened in the daytime when I wasn't home, and my mom noticed it because she was in my apartment. And so we made an appointment with the vet, and the vet said that it was getting worse and they could try to do different medication, but it wasn't. Sorry. But even with changing the medication, there was the chance that I would come home one day and she would be gone. And so I made the really, really hard decision to say goodbye. Sorry. Yeah. So, I had to say goodbye to her, and because for me, as much as I wanted to try and do everything possible, to some extent I feel like we did. And also, the worst thought for me would have been to come home and to find her like that. Because she was such an affectionate dog, and she always wanted to be with someone. And so the thought of coming home and her having to go through that alone, being so panicked and not knowing what was going on, I couldn't bear the thought of that. So that's why I made the decision to say goodbye. Obviously it's been a few months, but I'm still very emotional about it. I didn't think I was gonna cry, but here I am. So, yeah, that's And the one big thing that I really wanted to mention before talking about everything else and just doing makeup and hopefully talking about what the plans are for the new year. But in the meantime, I'm gonna get myself together and like wash my face a little bit. I'll be right back. Please excuse me. Okay. So, we're back. We're better. Yeah. Let's get started on makeup. And I'll tell you everything else I've been up to. Besides, you know, emotional distress. I'm sorry. That was not funny. But let's see. Last I made a video like this, I was telling you guys about how I had gotten a role in the government inspector, and that play went really, really well. It was an amazing group of people, and I had so much fun. It was, I think I mentioned it in my previous video, it was only my second play I've ever been in, and so I was really honored to have as big of a part as I did, and I don't know, just the entire experience was really great. I feel like I made some friends. I hope they feel the same way. Okay, side note. I don't know if I'm the only person who feels this way, but does anyone else get scared calling people their friends? Like, you're worried that they don't feel the same way, and they just think of you like as like an acquaintance. So then you just don't call people your friends until years later. Where it's like, you're stuck with me now, you're my friend. Or is that just me? Might be just me. But I forgot all of my brushes. Hold on. And as usual, I forgot to mention this, as I usually do, but I will have all the products I use listed in the description. That way I don't have to interrupt myself in my battling to tell you what things are. So, yes, government inspector, and then actually when we were still working on government inspector, they had auditions for the Christmas show. And initially I wasn't going to audition because I thought I have enough on my plate as it is with this, show that's going on currently, and I don't want to overwhelm myself. But then a couple people asked me if I was going to auditions, and I thought, you know what, they asked me specifically, and I figure, might as well try. I was expecting, you know, to get a minor role similar to the roles that I've had previously, where they aren't really, well, the first play I was in, that was more of a minor role. Government inspector, I definitely had more lines. But I was expecting kind of, you know, not a huge role. And so I go in and I audition, and it was great. And the play that we did was Miracle on 34th Street. Also, my heater just kicked on. I don't know why. My camera microphone loves to pick up the sound of my heater, so I apologize for that. But we're just gonna go with it because I don't want to be cold. I'm sorry. It's cold outside. So yes, I went to auditions, wasn't really thinking anything of it, and then I get an email from the director offering me the role of Doris Walker, which, if you are familiar with the show Miracle on 34th Street or the movie or anything like that, Doris Walker is the mom in the play, and so she's like the main female lead. I'm shaking my foundation up. It's a Serum foundation, and I bought it, and I'm not sure still if I like it, but I keep using it. So we'll see. Maybe one day I'll decide if I like it or not. But yes, and so that was, I don't know, kind of amazing to me, the fact that they offered that role to me. So I accepted, and so I got to be Doris Walker in Miracle on 34th Street. And that was just probably the most challenging role I've had so far, just because I've never really had to act romantically interested in someone in front of other people. So that was hard. Kind of awkward at times because my parents came to see that show, and that was the first show that my dad had ever seen me in, so that was a little weird. But at the same time, it was a really great time. The show itself had really random issues that we would run into, which I won't go into here, just out of respect for the people involved with putting the show on and everything. But it was honestly the comedy of errors of all the plays I've been in. That one was the most like, oh, another thing. So, but it was really good. The guy who played Fred, the love interest, the lawyer, he was actually someone that has been in all of the other plays that I've been in, so that was really nice to have it be someone that I was familiar with and comfortable with. That made it a lot easier. And of course, since we are in the times, all of the scenes where they would have been like kissing scenes, those actually got changed to like hugging scenes, kind of that kind of thing. So that also probably helped. Like I mentioned, my dad was able to see that show. My mom was able to see Government Inspector, and that's actually why she was up when I had to say goodbye to Pele. She was up to see the play, and she was able to kind of be there for me, help me get through that. So that helped a lot to not be alone those first couple days. Yeah, because as a lot of you might know, I do live alone, so having that person nearby when I was on the verge of a mental breakdown was very nice. Also, shout out to my work, because they were very understanding, and they like gave me the day off when I got the phone call from the vet saying like what was going on. They let me take the rest of the day off, and they were like, okay, you can work from home the next day and don't worry about it, we'll figure it out. So they were amazing. Just, I feel so lucky to be working where I do. Coffee break. So yeah, I really love the people I work with, and I feel so just blessed to work with them, and the fact that they're so understanding, and I don't know, it's such a lovely group of people. So yeah. So yeah, my mom was able to see that show, and one of the people who was in Government Inspector, she was like, oh yeah, I'm going to be directing a musical. Do you want to audition? And I said, well, maybe. Just text me the info or email me when auditions come around. And so she texted me the info and stuff, and she emailed it to me. And So I ended up auditioning for that show because at that point I had already said goodbye to Pele, and that was originally my only hang up because audition or rehearsals and things for this show are going to be in a place that's like not too far away from me. It's like 20 minutes by car, so totally doable. But I thought, okay, during tech week when I have to be there for dress rehearsal, I'll be at work all day, and then to have to drive out there and rehearse the whole show and everything, I didn't feel like that would be fair because with the shows I've been doing recently, they're just like 10 minutes away from where I live. So it was easy for me to come home and let her out and take her for a walk and everything beforehand, and I could just sneak out right after the show and come back home. But I felt like, okay, with this other show, I would have to drive over there right after work or like just come home, let her out real fast, and then go. And I didn't think that would be fair. So in a weird way, it ended up like working out because I would have never auditioned for the musical if it wasn't for that happening. But at the same time, it feels weird. I don't know. I'm very conflicted about the whole thing. So I did audition. That's the point of this whole story. I did audition, and the show, I forgot to mention what the show is. It's going to be Pirates of Penzance, and I originally was just going to audition for chorus because I have not sung in front of people in a good 4 years now, I want to say. It's been a while since I've sung in front of people, and I was really nervous about that. And so I was texting back and forth with her, and she was like, you know what, just audition for whatever, and if you get a bigger role, great. If not, chorus, which you were gonna get anyway, because she said we need people, and I know you can sing because I've heard you sing backstage, because I have a bad habit of singing backstage when we're in the middle of rehearsals and it's not like showtime and everything. But yeah, so she's like, I know you can sing, so don't worry about it. And so I auditioned and I got the role of Isabel. And for anyone who's familiar with the show, Isabel is one of Mabel's sisters. Mabel's the female lead. And I don't know if I put enough blush on. My lighting's throwing me off right now. But, so one of the sisters, and I actually don't have any solo singing lines, which honestly kind of is great. I love that. But I do have a couple of spoken lines, so like just 3 or 4 maybe, not too many. And the majority of the musical it's a musical where it's more sung than not. I know there are other musicals where it kind of feels like it's 50-50. This one's definitely like 90% singing. But let's see, do I want to use this one? Do I want to use that one? I might use both. Why not? So yeah, I have a couple of spoken lines, but no solo singing lines. I just get to sing along with the chorus, which I'm really excited about. I've never been in a musical, and there are some people in the musical from the government inspector that I know, so that helps to kind of have familiar people in an unfamiliar place. Yeah, I just very excited for that. Kind of nervous too, because obviously never done it, but I think it'll be good. Push me out of my comfort zone a little bit. my blush brush out in case I decide I want to throw more of that on. So yeah, that's kind of been the big things that I've been doing. Just musical. We only had the first run through and everyone got their copies of the score to kind of rehearse on their own time before we meet up again. I think the next time we're meeting up is sometime this month, but I don't remember when. I need to double check that. Yeah. Oh, I also joined the marketing committee for the local theater near where I live. They haven't had a marketing committee apparently for years. And so one other person was like, let's start it up again. And so I joined that, and I'm really excited for everything we're working on and everything we have planned. It's super, super exciting to kind of think of new ways and how we're going to do all of that. Yeah, that's really been the major thing that I've been doing this year. Yeah. And moving forward, there's just a lot of course, marketing the upcoming shows. The next show at the local theater I'm not going to be in, which honestly kind of works out with the musical and everything. So I won't be in that one, and the musical after that, it's an all-male cast, so I won't be in that one. And then in the summer they only do 2 shows, one for kids and one for teens, so I won't be in those. So I kind of have a little bit of a break as far as shows at that theater goes. I'm contemplating, oh my word, I have something in my eyeball. It's gone now, so I don't know what that was. Like I was saying, I'm contemplating auditioning at a few of the other theaters in the area, see when their auditions are for their various shows. So we'll see. I really enjoy doing the theater stuff. It definitely gets me out of my head, gets me out of my apartment too. So that's been really good. Let's see what else has happened. Oh, so as a lot of you know, I've been seeing a therapist for the past year or so, which has been really good. It's really helped me mentally. But back beginning of October, she had a family emergency and she's been out of town for a while. And due to that, and due to a few other things that happened, I actually decided to find a new therapist. Just because there were she initially expected she would be able to be back in office on a certain date, and she said, oh, I'll contact everyone the week before to see what your availability is. So I thought, okay, great, she'll contact me then. But then she never contacted me, and instead I got an email just saying, we're closed until the beginning of the year, and there wasn't any, sorry if I didn't contact you kind of thing, and it's a lot more complicated than just the whole 2-email thing. But for the sake of simplicity, that's what happened, and it really hurt my feelings, And so I thought, you know what, find a new therapist. So that's what I've decided to do. I haven't seen the new person yet, but I am going to be scheduled. They were not quite par with my insurance company yet, so they weren't quite considered in network. If I would have seen them, they would be considered out of network. And so I thought, you know what, I can wait a little bit. So I decided to wait because the person I was talking to said it should only take until the new year to get that all into place. So hopefully I will be seeing them sometime soon, and hopefully I like them. Because I know that I still have stuff I need to work through, and I know seeing a therapist for me personally is very beneficial, even when I feel like nothing is going on in my life, like everything's like calm and normal. It's still very beneficial for me. So we'll see. Hopefully, like I say, hopefully I'll be able to see them soon. So yeah, it kind of stinks that the timing of everything, because I haven't seen a therapist since before Kelly passed. And on top of that, in November, well, before November even, back earlier in the year, probably it was after my birthday, I was seen by one of the doctors at the office I work at. I work at an OB/GYN office, because I was having really, really painful periods, to the point where I would like pass out and I would puke, and I would almost call in sick to work pretty regularly. And I went in and I was like, I'm pretty sure that's not normal, and I just kind of want to know what's going on. So they ended up doing an ultrasound because of some family history, and to see if there was like an underlying cause that they could see on the ultrasound. And they ended up finding an ovarian cyst. And on its own, that's not a bad thing. Lots of people have ovarian cysts. Typically, they're just hormonal, usually based on genetics. A lot of people have them and never know they have them, because a lot of the time they'll just go away on their own. But when they found that, they thought, okay, well, let's follow up with another ultrasound in so many weeks, because it should be gone by then. And I went in for my follow-up ultrasound after so many weeks, and it wasn't just still there, it had gotten bigger. And they're like, oh, that's not good. So I did end up having surgery to remove that, and there was a little cyst on the other ovary that they also removed. And when they were in there, they also cleaned up endometriosis, which they suspected I had, but endometriosis is very hard to diagnose without actually going in there and seeing, because it's something that, to my understanding, it doesn't show up on ultrasounds. So they're like, okay. The doctor was like, pretty sure that's what you have going on. Pretty sure you have endometriosis as well. We're gonna take out that cyst. If you do have that endometriosis, we'll clean that up and take care of you. And I thought, great. So that was just recently at the latter half of December, but before before Christmas. So yes, I had surgery. It went really well. The doctor was really pleased with how it went. The cyst they removed from my left ovary, the one that was growing and everything, it was the size of a golf ball. So that's like that big. That's huge. And like, to have something that big in you and have it, yeah, that explains why I was having so much pain. There was also endometriosis. They definitively found that, and they were able to clean up a lot of that. So I shouldn't be having near as much pain with my periods and stuff. The hard thing with endometriosis is it is caused by hormones. So the only real way to prevent that from happening again is to be on some kind of hormone treatment, whether that be like a birth control pill or like an IUD or the subdermal contraceptive, the one that like goes in your arm. So they just, when they were doing the surgery, I was like, just insert the IUD, like make my life easy. So they did that because I was on another birth control previously, but then they had to take me off of it. I think I might have mentioned this in a previous video. They had to take me off of it because I was having such bad migraines. It stopped recording automatically. So, that's great. But what shade do I want to use on my lids? I don't know. I'll keep talking as I stare at these, trying to figure out what I want to put on my eyeballs. Oh, I think I'll do this one with that one. So, what was I saying? Oh, so I was having really bad migraines on my birth control. And it got to the point where I was having migraines that were, where I had really bad depth perception. Like, it was gone. And I went into the doctor and I was like, I need new migraine medication because what I'm having isn't working. And they were talking about all my symptoms with my migraines and stuff, and they were like, kind of sounds like we need to take you off of your birth control because some people who have this uptick in migraines with increased severity and increased symptoms while on the type of birth control I was on, it sometimes means that you're about to have a stroke. I was like, no thank you. So they took me off of that, and since then my migraines all but gone. They're like back to how they were, where it's just like atmospheric and where there's like air pressure systems and stuff. That's what triggers some of my migraines, and stress. Those are my two main migraine triggers. Sometimes I have random ones that pop up out of nowhere, but those are very far and few between. So my last migraine that I had to take my medication for was like 2 months ago. Which, if you have migraines, you know that's phenomenal. But yes, migraines. And so for me, I thought, okay, the IUD is the best option for me because it's like a localized thing. It's only really giving the hormone there in that area rather than something like the other type of birth control pill that I could have gone on, where there was the chance that could affect like my mood and things like that. And I'm like, I have enough trouble with my mood without adding a pill that could alter things into there, so let's not mess with that. That's just how I thought personally. So yeah, if I ever end up wanting kids or anything, then That's fine. We'll deal with that when the time comes. Honestly, though, people always look at me crazy when I say this, but I don't see that happening. Not for me. Like, kids are great. I like kids. But I just don't see myself as, like, a mom. I don't know. We'll see. It's not so much that I don't see myself as a mom. It's that I don't see myself... I want to put that on that side, too. It's that I don't see myself pregnant. So, I don't know. Getting personal with Jennifer. Yeah. That's just how I see things, though. And people always say, oh, when you meet the right person, you'll change your mind. Sure, maybe. But maybe not. And it's kind of weird that people are so insistent on being like, you'll change your mind. Like, what if I don't? That's okay too. I don't know. Minor rants. Do I like how that looks? I think I like how that looks. Okay. So we're gonna call that good. And some eyeliner. What do I want to do for eyeliner? I don't really want to do eyeliner. I don't think I will. I think I'll just go straight to mascara. Ha ha ha. This is a new mascara that I'm trying for the first time. Because it was in a pack that was like really cheap. Like, cheaper than my usual mascara when I divided them. So we'll see if I like it. If I don't, then I know. I'll probably still use it until it's time for me to switch it out though. So yeah. That's enough about me and my medical issues. Probably learned way more about me than you wanted to. Sorry about that, but just wanted to let you guys know what was going on. Oh, I did want to mention though, I didn't realize how much like passive pain I was in, just constantly, because there was always like a dull ache kind of in my my left pelvis area, but I didn't really think anything of it, just because it's been going on for so long now that I just didn't think of it. But learning things now, it's like, oh, that was probably the cyst. And a few days after surgery, I was laying in bed and I realized I was not in any pain at all. And it was such a relief. My heater just kicked on again, sorry. But it was such a relief, I almost started crying because I didn't realize how bad it was until that moment. And I was like, oh my word. I've been living like that. And I obviously didn't need to, but yeah. So that's been so nice. And healing's been going really well. It's, like I said, it's been a few weeks since my surgery and everything's healing well. I don't really feel any pain associated with that anymore. So yeah, it's been really good. Hello everyone. So as I put on my mascara, here is editing Jennifer for a voiceover. I just wanted to mention real quick that one big goal that I do have going into 2022 is to actually edit the things that I film and upload the things that I film, because over the past year I have probably a dozen or more videos that I've filmed and even a few of them that I've edited, but then I just never upload them. So that's really my big goal this coming year, is to actually
post the things that I film. So yes. Anyway.
I mean, I don't hate it. It's not my favorite mascara I've ever used, but I don't hate it. So, not bad. So, yeah. There we go. That's the look. Let's see. Is there anything else I wanted to talk about today? Oh, yes. I wanted to mention just a few things I've planned for the channel coming up. I'm still going to be doing project band videos, still going to be doing K-pop related videos, and I have a few ideas bouncing around that I might put into practice, but I haven't decided yet, so I'm not going to verbalize them. Because when I verbalized ideas in the past, I never follow through with them. So maybe keeping it a secret to myself will make me more motivated to actually do them and put them into fruition. We'll see. Maybe not. But yeah, that's kind of everything that's coming up. And yeah. As always, if you want to see more of my face, you can check out the channel, or subscribe, or both. You don't have to. Like the video if you liked it, comment if you'd like. All the mandatory YouTube stuff that I should apparently be telling you to do. I don't know. And let's see. As always, I hope you guys are having a wonderful whatever time of the day it is, wherever you are. And I will see you in the next video. I love you guys.